ashes fall, where heat don't come from comfort, but from danger. They lit the room with flame, now light, and I open my eyes to the sound of things burning, too quiet to scream. My lullaby was the hiss of something catching my first breath. Tasted like smoke that had purpose. I learned to crawl on embers, learned to stand while my name still glowed hot in someone else's mouth. They didn't cradle me, they watched to see if I'd melt or take the shape of what they feared. Turns out I didn't melt, I tempered. Pressure made my bones, ash made my voice. You think fire destroys? Not always. Sometimes it builds men that don't flinch when the room starts glowing. I was never taught softness, I was handed coals and told to walk, told to hold heat in my hands without dropping what mattered. You ever watch a match fall and know it means a beginning, not for a fire, for a life? That was me, lit by accident, kept alive by the fact that I learned to make the flame fear me. My skin remembers where the burns ended and the armor began. Every scar a chapter no one gets to read without permission. So now, when they ask where I come from, I don't point to a place, I point to a moment. That flash, that spark, that second everything caught. And I didn't run, I was born where the matches fall. And I've been walking through fire ever since. The first time it burned, I wanted to move. Every instinct said, run, flinch, break. But instincts are loud, and loud things get killed. So I stayed still, let the fire test me, let the sweat drown the panic. That's when I learned heat isn't the enemy, it's the teacher. It doesn't whisper, it roars, it waits. And if you can stand inside it without blinking, you learn what control feels like. I've stood in rooms where lies melted and truth cracked open, not because I spoke, 'cause I didn't move. You think strength is fists? Try holding your ground When everything in you screams to run, try keeping your voice level while the air cooks around you. He taught me silence, stillness, the kind that isn't passive, kind that's waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I've walked through factories of pain, furnaces of memory, always where the walls sweat and the ground vibrates with promises no one kept. Didn't cry, didn't kneel, I just listened to the rhythm of the flame. Because fire teaches more than fear, it teaches pace and precision, how to speak without speaking. They watched me, thought I was numb, but I was learning how to turn temperature into tension. I don't shake now, not because I'm cold, but because the heat already claimed every part of me that could be scared. And in its place, it left focus, so when things burn out, don't move, not out of pride, out of practice. I let the blaze dance around me, let it scream. Cause I've already learned how to stand without mercy, without retreat. The heat taught me that, and I listened. I don't need to sign my name. Smoke does it for me. Drifting through alleys, clinging to coats, settling in rooms where no one dares to ask where that smell comes from. It's not from cigars, not from the match, it's from me. From what I carry, from what I walked through and never wiped off. They think it fades, it doesn't. It hovers, it waits, it tells stories without voice. I've stood in places where the smoke curled different when I entered, like it recognized me, like it knew I belonged. In places where fire once ruled and left nothing clean. You ever see a man so silent, so still, that even the smoke respects him? That's not theater, that's history. That's pain turned to vapor and worn like scent. They light candles when I leave just to cover, but it stays on the walls, in the breath, in the way people pause before they speak my name. Because my name, it's not just sound, it's smoke. Invisible, undeniable. Smolder, and the air around me men followed trails they couldn't explain. Swear they smelled something that reminded them of me, even though I was miles away. That's what happens when you burn through enough to become part of the aftermath. They think smoke disappears. It doesn't. It clings to memory, to fear, to the back of the throat where regret lives. I've left buildings still full of me, even after I was gone. Not 'cause I spoke, but because I lingered. Smoke wears my name, and the ones who know never forget how it smells. I've seen fire up close, not the kind in stories, the kind that bites, that wraps around your ribs and whispers, let's see what you're made of. I didn't run, didn't scream, just stood there and watched it blink. 'Cause I don't flinch in flame, not anymore. There's a moment where most men pull back. Instinct, fear, survival. I step forward because once you've been burned by things you trusted, what's a little heat from something honest? Fire don't lie, it doesn't fake a smile or shake your hand while hiding a knife. It comes at you full, hungry, loud, and I respect that. That's why it respects me. I don't move when it reaches, I let it test me. Let it try to find some part of me that still fears. But it doesn't, not anymore. 'Cause everything's soft, already turned to steel. Everything breakable, already broke. What's left is something fire can't eat. I've stood in rooms lit by things collapsing, bridges, names, hopes, and I stayed upright, unblinking, while the world turned orange around me. That's not courage, that's memory, that's knowing the worst has already come, and I'm still here. I don't flinch in flame, 'cause I've made peace with the burn. 'Cause I've been forged, not just touched. Some men fear fire, others use it, but me, I walk through it like it's a hallway in my own house. 'Cause once you've learned to let pain walk beside you, the flame becomes a guide, not a threat. Let it rage, let it scream, I won't step back. 'Cause I don't flinch in flame, I walk in it like I was born there. fire used to test me. Now it steps aside. I don't raise my hand, don't bark commands, I walk. And the flame leans back like it knows I've earned this space. I've walked through more heat than most men can imagine. Let it peel layers off me until only the truth remained. And that truth don't burn easy. The fire sees it now, sees the calm in my eyes, the stillness in my stride. And like any wild thing, it respects power. It doesn't understand. I used to be afraid of what he could take. Now I understand what it can't touch. I don't flinch, I don't sweat. I carry storms under my coat and pressure behind my ribs, enough to silence sparks before they get brave. People think fire is king, but fire still needs air, still needs something soft to chew. And I left soft behind a long time ago, so when I pass it flickers, not from wind, from memory, from the recognition of someone who didn't break when everything screamed to. I've stood in rooms where the walls glowed, watched the floor curl under the heat and didn't move. Not because I'm made of steel, but because I already gave the fire everything it could steal. Now it bows, not in submission, in respect, because even flame knows when it's looking at something it can't unmake. I don't ask for fear, I ask for space, and even the blaze gives it, so let it rage, let it roar. When I pass, it will pause, it will lean, it will remember. Because I don't walk around fire, I walk through it. And the fire, it bows.
They talk about right or wrong like it's fireproof, like belief can't blister, like conscience don't sweat, but I've seen it. How fast a man's truth turns to smoke when the heat rises. Morals, they burn quicker than skin. I've watched saints beg and liars preach. The moment the flame touched their feet, turns out pain don't care how holy you were. When you were dry, I learned early, the fire don't test what you say, It tests what you'll keep when the burning stops. And most fold, they sell mercy cheap. When the heat's at their door, they trade dignity for shade. But me, I stood inside the blade. It's long enough to know what survives. It ain't purity, it ain't rules, it's discipline, conviction, the kind that don't need to be pretty to hold. I've seen men who spoke of loyalty, watch it melt off their lips when it came time to bleed for it. I've seen judgment evaporate when the fire climbed too high for comfort in all the morals they carry. Ash gone before the flesh even cracked. So no, I don't listen when they preach from cool places. I only believe the ones who've burned, stayed still, the ones who didn't point fingers while they boil. The heat reveals everything. It don't lie, it don't flat, it just takes. And if what you believe can't stand the burn, then it was never real. I've walked through it with my name intact, not 'cause I'm righteous, but I stopped needing to be. Truth ain't about comfort, it's about survival under pressure. So let it burn, let the smoke rise. I've seen enough to know morals go first, skin goes second, but the ones who last, they already knew.
The fire's out, but it still speaks, not in crackle, in memory. I walk through the remains, boots slow, eyes sharp, and feel the dust shift like it knows me. Because the ashes, they remember. They don't point, they don't judge, they just lie. They're gray, soft, full of truth no one dares to say. Gets fast when the flame's gone, but ashes, they hold. Every scream, every silence, every choice I made when the heat was loudest. I've left things behind, people, names, versions of myself, but the ash remembers them all. It sticks to the cuffs, clings to the coat, sits in the folds like a ghost too tired to rise. I burned things I didn't want to watch bridges fall with my fingerprints. Still fresh on the railing, didn't celebrate, didn't flinch, just stood there, breathing in the cause. Because sometimes survival smells like smoke. They think I walk clean, but I know better. I know what's in the seams, what's in the cracks, what blows off my shoulders every time the wind gets curious. Ashes don't talk, but they don't forget either. They hold the weight that fire doesn't carry, the aftermath, the echo. And when I'm alone, when the street's quiet and my boots hit soft earth, I feel them rise, feel them whisper. Not to accuse, not to forgive, just to remind. I was here, and this is what it took. I stood in the blaze long enough for it to know me, not fear me, not spare me, know me. The flame doesn't forget. It might roar, it might rage, but when it wraps around something real, something forged, it takes a step back and leaves the outline, mine still there. You can see it in places where the heat scorched everything, but pause right around my phone, like it said, this one, he belongs here. I didn't survive the fire, I spoke to it, held its sigh while others screamed. And in that quiet moment, it remembered me. Now whenever it rises, it moves around me like wind, not weak, but respectful. Because I didn't burn like they expected, didn't break where they bet. I stayed upright, even while my name sizzled in their mouths. The scars don't tell the story, the shape does. The way I stand, the way the smoke curves when I breathe. I've walked through cities, still black with what I left behind, and the fire still glows a little softer when I enter, because it remembers the way my spine didn't curl, the way my silence didn't shake. They tried to erase me in flame, they tried to make me dust, but the fire carved me instead.
stitch marks, they trace my name better than ink ever could. So when they say, was it worth it? I just breathe and feel the way the heat bends around my steps. I don't carry the fire. The fire carries me. And it remembers every inch, every crack, every moment I didn't fall. I walk like I've been through something. Wouldn't survive because I didn't just make it out. I made it mine. I don't move fast, I move with weight. Each step says that blaze. I didn't just stand in it, I made it blink first. Fire used to scare me, used to chase me. Now it moves aside like it remembers what it took to not take me. I walk like fire owes me, and it does. For the nights I didn't sleep because the smoke in my chest was louder than my breath. For the times I held the burn inside my ribs instead of letting it consume the room. For every scar it didn't see fit to finish, 'cause I wouldn't fall. The same confidence is collection, and every brick I step on feels the heat behind me as proof. I don't boast, I don't warn, but the ground knows, there knows. They remember how I walked when everything burned, not with panic, but with purpose. I've buried brothers in the fire, walked away, carrying silence heavier than caskets, and still I kept moving, because I wasn't walking away from the flame, I was walking through it. Now when I move, the wind leans, the walls lean, and even the sparks hesitate before they reach me. I don't owe the fire anything, it took enough. But me, I came out with something that couldn't keep my stride. And I walk like that man, like every crack in the ground is a signature that says he's already paid. So let them watch, let them wonder, let them feel the warmth and not know if it's mine or what's left from where I've been, because I walk like fire owes me, and it still does.
I don't look back. Don't need to, 'cause where I leave, the air still smokes. Not fire, not flame, just the aftermath. The quiet curl of heat that says he was here. I've never needed monuments. The street remembers better than stone ever could. It holds the echo in its bricks, the scent in its silence, the shape of a man who walked through hell and left the door open. When people try to forget, but smoke lingers, it settles into clothes, into curtains, into conversations no one wants to finish. That's me, not loud, not gone, just present in the residue. I walk out and the room breathes like it's afraid to inhale what I left behind, like it knows something burned here that wasn't wood. My name fades fast, but my heat doesn't. They'll rebuild, they'll repaint, but something in the air stays cracked, stays warm, stays watching. 'Cause you don't erase what fire taught, you carry it, even when you pretend it's over. I've walked out of lives, deals, wars, and every time the air behind me took its time settling, not because I wanted legacy, 'cause I left something that never learned how to cool. Let the smoke rise, let it wrap the rooftops like a flag with no country. It doesn't ask to be understood, only felt. I don't leave messages, I leave temperature. And if you stand still long enough, you'll feel it climb your spine. Not pain, not threat, memory. So when they ask where I went, tell them nowhere. He passed through, and the air still figuring out what to do with what he left. Because where I leave, the air still smokes, and some truths don't cool.